Automaton. Definition: a moving mechanical device made in imitation of a human being. Automaton Transfusion.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to 31 Days of Horror. I'm Morgan Film Fan. Let's jump into some scares. Automaton Transfusion is a film that was directed by Stephen C. Miller, and this is his directorial debut, which definitely feels it. It definitely has the low-budget feel, which I can always appreciate. Stephen C. Miller is a director that I'm quite familiar with. He really dove into the B action movie genre, so he did a lot of those Bruce Willis, Nicolas Cage B films. Marauders is one that I really enjoyed. Extraction, did not care for at all. First Kill is quite a good film. He also directed Silent Night, the remake to Silent Night Deadly Night, which I absolutely loved. He did a film called Arsenal with Nicolas Cage, which I absolutely love. Fantastic stuff. So he's all over the place. Certain films of his, the action ones I'm talking about, don't work for me at all, and then others are just through the roof good. I mentioned First Kill already. He did another one, Escape Plan 2. Fantastic film. I have a great time with Escape Plan 2. All the Escape Plan, both the sequels I really enjoyed, including the first, obviously. But Stephen C. Miller doing the second one, he did a really good job with that one. And I wanted to check out this film because I love zombie films and I love low budget cinema and I love low budget horror. I'm all over that. And a directorial debut, I can't even speak right now, is always up my alley. So I grabbed this one. This is from 2006, same as Ka, which I just reviewed. Although this DVD says 2007, and 2008. We'll just go with 2006 again because of IMDb. I had a few problems with this film, unfortunately. Sorry, Steven. But this is a first feature, and it definitely feels like a first project. I'll give it props for that because what this guy could do, this is a $30,000 film, $30,000 US on budget. So what he can do with this film, I was really impressed with. But there's this grain and there's this lag to the cinematography that really felt like I was watching a YouTube video from 2006. Like with all the lags and the skippings and the everybody kind of going in slow motion every once in a while. Like this film is packed with that. And there was this aspect ratio too, where you get a lot of black on top and black on the bottom, where you get this just little tiny screen in the middle of the picture that was really distracting and really annoying me through the entire thing. The acting is hokey, but that's to be expected. I mean, you're dealing with a bunch of teens, high school teens. I mean, they're all clearly, they look like they're in their 20s, but they're playing high school kids. And there's a zombie outbreak, and there's no explanation for the zombie outbreak. It's just the film starts out at a morgue, and there's this guy pushing a body in this gurney, and he's getting sick, and he throws up into this biohazard garbage thing because he can't stand the smell, and this body's decomposing rapidly, and eventually he opens up one of the morgue-like doors to put the bodies into the wall, and I don't know what they're called, but a zombie starts attacking him, and then he gets bit, and then there's this outbreak at this high school, and we're following a bunch of teens throughout this really tiny town, and this film literally has no plot at all. It's just high school kids dealing with a zombie outbreak that's not explained. So you get a lot of cool kills. I mean, the practical effects are fantastic. If this had a better picture, like if this was cleaned up by Vinegar Syndrome, I think this would get like a star or a star and a half higher. because it has ambition. I just don't understand how the quality of this film could be as low as it is. Like, it's 2006, I get it. I mean, iPhones didn't exist really. I mean, especially to the quality that they are today. But at the same time, like, I've seen cinema from that era. I mean, you've got 13 that came out before this, and you've got Mean Creek that came out before this. Granted, I understand that they had a bigger budget, but man, this feels like something that was recorded on one of those flip phones that you get from in the mid 2000s. Like, and I guess that's part of the charm of the film. And I guess because I know this film is huge, like it has a huge cult status and cult following. And I mean that cover. If you want to sell a horror film, just get an amazing poster like that. And there's great kills and there's great gore. Like, the gore is phenomenal. I just wish the picture was better. There's this scene where this guy shows up, a zombie, infected, at this house. There's a house party going on, and there's this girl who answers the door, and she happens to be pregnant, and then the guy whips his arm inside and, rips out a fetus. And it looks corny because it's literally like a fetus that's this big, and it looks like a doll, like one of those baby dolls that kids play with. So I don't think a fetus would be that big at that stage of pregnancy, but it's still disgusting, and it's still like, you have the whole umbilical cord coming with it, and they really go for grotesque in this, which I always appreciate. But you got the holy grail of true independent horror films. The holy grail. I'd give that to Absentia by Mike Flanagan. I think that's the holy grail of independent horror films. However, Absentia came out in 2010, so that came out 4 years after this. So again, I got to give credit where credit is due. I can definitely see the ambition. Practical effects win for sure, and I don't want to harp on the guy too much because this is his first project, and I do like his action stuff, and I do. When he's on, he's on. Like, Arsenal is probably the best film that's a lie. Silent Night is probably the best film that I've seen by him, because I'm a horror fan. But Arsenal with Nicolas Cage, what a B movie, man. What a B movie. That's the way B movies should be done. So, if Steven's listening, I don't want to harp on this film too much, although I wasn't a fan. Apologies. But, it is what it is, and maybe with a few more watches it'll grow on me, because I can see the cult status in this. I just really want to see this film cleaned up. That's the biggest thing I want, and that's the biggest thing I hope for, because there's promise in this, and I definitely see the ambition when it comes to Automaton Transfusion. And I also couldn't stand the ending, because it just cuts and then it says "to be continued," and it's been since 2006. We haven't gotten Automaton Transfusion 2 yet. So, I mean, you could literally end the film exactly the same. Just take away the to be continued. Just have the guy go ch, and then just go black screen and credits. You can have an ambiguous ending like that. The to be continued just promises something that you're not 100% sure if you can deliver. So, I don't know. It is what it is. Unrated and Undead, though. In a nutshell, I think this film has a ton of promise. I love the practical effects. I love the gore in it. The gore is phenomenal. It's a gorehound's good time. It just needs more story, and it needs a cleanup. Like, give me a Blu-ray of this, and then maybe I'll change my score. And you do get a little bit of an explanation when it comes to the climax of the film. They meet this guy in this bunker, and then the guy in the bunker starts to explain a lot of stuff that went on. But it's still quite vague, and it's kind of like something you've heard before, and something that could have been explained a little bit more in detail. But you're here for the gore, really. Like, this film wasn't meant to be this deep epic story in the first place, but it really is just so simple that I can't even describe the plot. It's just zombie outbreak, high school kids trying to run away from zombies, and a lot of people get killed in vicious ways. That's it. That's really the plot. So I mean, if you're a gore hound, like, I hate to say this, but there's films of the same caliber that are shot better. Again, first feature. I don't want to harp on it too much. And I love his other stuff. The guy's grown. If you want to see Stephen C. Miller, like if you want to see from this to where he went, oh boy, just watch Arsenal, First Kill, Marauders, and Silent Night. And you'll see where the guy's gone. Especially Arsenal. That's a great one with Nicolas Cage. Amazing Nicolas Cage performance. So that's Automaton Transfusion. This is day 6. This is second last so far. So Caw is last place still. This is better than Caw because of the gore. I'm a gore hound. And stay tuned for more 31 Days of Horror because we got plenty more coming. And so far, it's been okay. It's been an okay ride. Seen some good ones, seen some above average ones, and then some, that are just meh. But it's been okay. We're still at the beginning, so we got lots of films to come. Keep it spooky. Until next horror review, have a good one. Cheers.